Hey, this is the Grinder, Mark Shaw, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers on Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox. I am, of course, your host, that guy, James J., along with Kaliko Yachts.
Fuck IKEA. That's all. Fuck IKEA.
And the American Scooter Dust.
People tell me I'm condescending. That means I talk down to people.
And it's a great day for wrestling because we are finally here. We are finally in the WrestleMania week. We are wrestling with Mania week. And last Wednesday we talked to Mark Shaw. Incredible interview with an incredible individual. It's really interesting to have heard about, the internal workings of the business as well as, the physical side of it. No?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
And
It's spectacular beard. I have to always bring that up. Spectacular beard.
one of the best in the business, damn it. And we will continue wrestling with Mania this week because we have a week long of shows for you. Tomorrow I defend my trivia championship against Scooter Dust and our friend from the Great for Yardy podcast, Drew. That should be one to listen for. Monday we do a watch along of the Stardom Princess tournament with Becca and Little Mean Kathleen. Tuesday, we have a watch along of Barry Wrestling's Christmas social distance variety show, the match between Clay Wilson and Holden Albright with Holden Albright. Wednesday, we are interviewing Love Doug, one of our most interesting interviews of all time. Definitely one of our most entertaining as well. And I think Kaliko is still overloading Doug with information. But seriously, you want to listen to that Love Doug interview.
Oh, yeah, because he was about that life. If there was ever a person about that life, it's him.
Thursday, the watch along for our Wrestling with Mania Madness tournament, where we watched the final two matches of the tournament. One is the winner, one is not the winner, and both matches go into the Wrestling with Hall of Fame. So, always, what was that other one we agreed on?
Still pissed I didn't get out the first round.
And I'm out.
Yes. Friday, we have another watch along of AEW Dark, the match between DVN and Teikati with DVN. And that is maybe one of our most interesting watch alongs, because there are a lot of insights about that match that you may have not known. Saturday, our review of NXT Stand and Deliver both nights, and of course you could listen to NXT Stand and Deliver Wednesday and Thursday on the Remix UNB Network Scooter Dust, and then
apparently I don't get to say that anymore.
and then WrestleMania. and then we're finally down WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday. What should they listen to at Scooter?
Of course, you gotta listen to it on. Damn it, I can't remember the name of my own podcast now. Crap.
Well, that's your problem.
Of course, all you peons out there, you know what? You listen to listen to it on the remix. If you don't, I know where you live. I've seen where you sleep, and I swear to everything holy, your mothers will cry when they see what I haven't done to you. Seriously, though, listen to it on the remix. We'd appreciate it. UMB Sports too. Only on Mixler.
I have to do it my way because it messes up my feng shui. You know what I mean? And then Monday, retirement.
You speak through furniture? No, Monday retiring. Yes.
Wait a minute, you can pronounce feng shui, but you can't pronounce fuerza.
But there's no R in feng shui. There's no rolling.
And feng shui is furniture. Anyway, it's
Feng shui might be a goal I know.
Yes,
Coming to the ring, feng shui.
Someone I visited back in during my tour of Nam.
And then after that, I come out of retirement on Wednesday to interview Von Vertigo. If you don't know, he makes Backyard Pro Wrestling. So, you want to know where have you ever wrestled a Rock question came from? That guy. So, you definitely want to listen to that interview as well.
That guy came from you?
No, it's another guy. Another.
We have fun.
Yes. Now that we're done putting ourselves over, let's get into the news. It was revealed, on March 30th, the the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, the new design. Kaliko, your thoughts on the new design if you've seen it?
I've seen it, but everyone keeps putting Cody's neck tattoo next to it, and it just can't be unseen. Like that part. I see where they were trying to go with it, like an anime type of deal, but
yeah, there's one big thing that one thing comes to mind. Yeah, I didn't know that New Japan was creating a Divas Championship.
Yeah, that was the other one.
That too. That's the other one. Yep.
What is New Japan doing here?
Reaching a younger audience because it seems more anime and lucha libre than actual wrestling.
I mean, it just seems like why now the wrestlers kind of have to pretend to want that belt. You know, the original, heavyweight championship. You know, there was no doubt that's the belt that they wanted. That's what they came to New Japan for. It was a very desired thing.
It looked like how a world title should look.
Exactly. And now we're saying about this new, and it's not even the heavyweight championship, it's the world heavyweight championship, which is honestly was not needed. I mean, the WWE championship is not the world WWE championship. It's just the WWE championship, and it's the most desired championship in pro wrestling. So I don't really felt like that was necessary.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessary either. The lineage is in fact that it was the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Um, and quite honestly, I really think they unified the wrong belts.
Which belts did they have unified?
Probably, I probably would have unified the Intercontinental and the United States
I mean,
and come up with something else. I mean,
they would have to get the belt actually from John Moxley, and it doesn't seem like that's happening.
this is proof they can make a new belt whenever they want, so that excuse is out the window now.
But if they really cared about it, they would have just gave it to Kenta or Juice off default and
Right.
started it over. So that's why it kind of matters.
They can get it to butterfly away.
I'm questioning, is this kind of a way to erase Kota Ibushi from the history book, so to speak? Because if Okada wins that belt, and a lot of the other wrestlers were saying if they got that belt, they would resplit them into the IWGP and Intercontinental. So is this kind of giving Kota Ibushi a false legacy, so to speak?
That's an interesting aspect. If roster members have gone on record as saying if they win this belt, that they would split it back. You wonder if maybe that's actually
The bears need
in
help.
future plans.
Wait! Daddy, the cardboard, and that is lava.
I mean, if they
Daddy, you need to get the teddy
Shut
bear.
up.
Moo.
If they actually start building Kota Ibushi as a heel, which in the eyes of the crowd, it seems like he's getting there. That might actually become something where maybe an Okada. I don't think Naito is getting up there again. Where like an Okada will kind of come and save us, so to speak. But
I mean, if Taro Yano wins,
I don't know what Yano would do if he got that championship. I mean, it would definitely speak to now the legacy of that title. If Kota Ibushi Yano, you know what I mean?
or Yoshihashi.
Yeah. If Yoshihashi wins that belt, then it's over for it. Speaking of Yoshihashi, what are your thoughts on Yoshihashi, Kalika?
Fuck Yoshihashi. And still fuck Ikea.
Alright. I think that'll conclude our conversation about this. The other bit of news that came out yesterday, I believe, Chris Jericho will be on the next Broken Skull Sessions with Stone Cold. If anybody that's been under a rock, Chris Jericho actually works for AEW. How did this happen, and what are we in store for, Scooter?
Well, first of all, this is being done with full approval from Tony Khan. So this wasn't anything the WWE already had, and everybody thought this was an April Fool's prank, but the prank was that it's actually real. Now
he's not secretly interviewing Scotty B, is what you're saying.
Who the hell is Scotty B?
I don't know. We interviewed him the other day, and
Oh, you mean the serial killer? Either way, the full announcement of the interview does not mention AEW in the promo. It will air following night 2 of WrestleMania. It is promised to be a historic edition, and it's going to be very interesting given how strict WWE is with the the written, well, not unwritten, but the forbidden use of specific names and other terms. Names on that list include the Young Bucks, John Moxley, All Elite, Elite by itself.
Elite by itself, really?
Yep.
Interesting. All Elite Scooby Doo?
Idea. I'm Elite. Zoinks. Other than that, this is it's interesting, but you know that 90% of wrestling fans are going to start that conspiracy train all over again about this being some sort of WWE AEW collaboration. No, it's not. This is a one-time thing. We'll probably learn more about whose idea this was after it airs.
Probably.
Um,
But I
but
do, you know,
Austin did ask Vince about it and got the okay from Vince.
so maybe this was maybe this was Stone Cold's idea.
Impossible. Okay. This was actually booked back in November.
It was recorded in November or was booked in November?
Booked.
Okay.
Yeah. Austin reached out to Jericho after the Broken Skull sessions with The Undertaker aired in late November. Not sure if it's taped as of yet. I know it's not going to air live. That's for damn sure.
Of course.
Um,
But the thing I want to know is what does AEW get out of this? Because the only time I could remember like something similar happening was when they inducted Ric Flair into the WWE Hall of Fame for the second time, and they gave Impact Wrestling, well, TNA at the time, Christian as a swap.
well, it's very interesting because maybe that's the idea this time around too.
They get Christian. Christian is just a bargaining chip, right?
He's that big blue dot.
He sure is. What about you, Kalika? What are your thoughts on Chris Jericho coming on WWE TV once again, and the possibility of a WWE superstar possibly coming on Dynamite or any AEW TV?
Nah, that ain't happening. The WWE part. I think it's just because the one thing that separates Jericho from everybody is that, for better or for worse, he's always been upfront with Vince about the business, right?
Yes.
So it kind of gives him the benefit of the doubt that he's coming in good faith. So even if Austin requested it, I mean, Jericho would do it just out of good faith for the business. So it's not out of the realm of Chris Jericho if you've seen the way that he moves.
Right.
as a businessman in wrestling, right?
And if AEW promotes this, they're not going to promote it as being on the WWE network. They're going to promote
Peacock.
it as being on Peacock.
Yes. 100%.
And keep in mind, they had history because they were on each other's podcasts
Oh, yeah.
way before, like
Yeah.
Pod is Jericho and before Stone Cold jumped on the network. So, to me, it's more of a history there. If it was like, I mean, Jericho, is it a big deal? Yeah, but it's not a big. If it was like the Young Bucks or Kenny Omega, then we talking because they
Yeah,
got no ties whatsoever.
yeah, I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, but I'm saying that would be a bigger shock than Jericho.
Yes.
I
see what you mean.
I will say this though, Jericho, in tweeting about it, mentions Tony Khan's forbidden door and kicking it in. So
You can't say
you
that
don't
Jericho doesn't know how to store it up when
exactly.
he wants
Oh, exactly. Jericho's gonna use this to be like, "Oh my God, WWE and AEW are coming together! Oh my God, no, they're not."
to. If he mentions AEW twice on the show, I would be shocked.
Well, then I think that just means he just made the list.
Alright,
I just want.
I think we'll conclude the news here because we have a lot to preview. We are wrestling with NXT Stand and Deliver preview, night 1 and 2. And once
Night
again,
one.
how should we listen to NXT Stand and Deliver?
If you are smart, then you will listen to NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver on the remix with Scooter Dust and James J and Kaliko on UMB Sports 2 Wednesday and Thursday. Night 1 is Stand, night 2 is Deliver, and night 3 I cry myself to sleep. No. But yes, listen to it. Remix UMB Sports 2 only on Mixler and maybe other places. Who knows?
Alright, let's get into it. The first match on night 1, Leon Ruff, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Loomis, and LA Knight in a gauntlet match. Winner receives a North American title shot on night 2. Who wins, Scooter?
It, it's gotta be it's gotta be Loomis. You think it's gotta be Loomis with a heavy favoritism towards possibly making us think that LA Knight is going to, but I can't see anyone other than Loomis coming out of this.
Fair assessment, Kaliko?
Yeah, Loomis seems like the logical choice. But isn't Austin Theory in the match too? Or am I
No.
missing something?
No.
Dang it. Because I thought they were going to go the Austin Theory route. So yeah, Loomis it is.
The dark horse is probably Cameron Grimes,
I was,
but I don't
He's
think
still
thinking
stuck
maybe
with the Undisputed Era thing.
maybe
no, he's
Bronson
working
Reed.
his own.
I mean, they've kind of been playing,
Well, Reed and Knight have their own thing going. Grimes is still doing his new $1 million man gimmick.
And he's kind of messing with Roderick.
Yes, but they also competed. They went 1-on-1 on NXT this past week. So
Yeah, but I would see him like antagonizing that shit. He seems like that kind of guy.
no. No, no, it seems like Loomis is the the logical choice, unless they want to wait for another takeover, but that really wouldn't make sense in my eyes. Alright, NXT Tag Team Championship match. MSK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans versus Legado del Fantasma.
Legado del Fantasma.
Legado. It is worth mentioning that Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch were the tag team champions, but had to vacate due to injury. Scooter, who wins the match?
Hey, first I gotta say I really feel bad for Lorcan and Burke. They end up some relative form of success, and then something comes along and just screws them out of it again.
I think that's the story of their NXT run, isn't it?
I would say just about. I really do want to say MSK. But I'm gonna go with Legado del Fantasma.
Kaliko?
I have a theory. If Legado del Fantasma wins, Escobar is winning.
That's the same theory I was working on. Yep.
If they lose, Escobar is losing. So I think, because think about it, they went from like having like 18 stables to now only having 2. And both of them are the way, well, 3, because if you count Imperium. So Imperium, the Way, and Legado del Fantasma. So they have to be legit. If they're going to be legit, they would get the belts. Usually a stable is legit when they hold all the gold. At some point.
I disagree with both of you guys. I think, MSK is obviously the logical choice. But Grizzled Young Veterans, I mean, they've been there for a hot minute at this point. And it seems like Phantasma were just drawn into this match because they needed somebody else. And MSK, I mean, they won the Dusty Classic. It might be worth it for them to maybe hold it off and have them chase the belts for a little bit more. So, and I mean, they beat Grizzled Young Veterans in the finals, correct?
Yes.
All right, I'm in. Grizzled Young Veterans win. All right, NXT United Kingdom.
Not against that. I'm not against that. And I'm not against that logic. I can see. I'm not surprised if that would happen. Next match.
And the other thing about that is that when it comes to Legado del Fantasma, you're either saying they either all win or they all win or none of them win. When you do realize that the LIJ factor comes into play, well, even if one wins, the other one is definitely losing. If you ever seen a New Japan show, so without doubt, Phantasma is gonna lose that match, and Escobar could still win the ladder match. But moving on. NXT United Kingdom Championship match: Walter versus Tomaso Ciampa. I think this is gonna be the show stealer. Scooter, who's gonna win?
Yeah. I mean, considering that I think Walter has now, thanks to the pandemic, outlasted Pete Dunne.
Yes.
Yeah. Walter.
Kaliko?
Walter, because I can't see Ciampa going internationally with that belt. So, Walter.
Volta.
I mean, the only thing I can see is somehow if Chompa pulls it off, is that he uses it as a springboard, saying he'll forfeit it if he gets a shot at the NXT Championship, but that ain't happening.
I mean, it's a possibility. And that brings us to our main event of night one, NXT Women's Championship match, Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez.
There's also one more match.
Oh, where am I missing?
Pete Dunne and Kushida.
Oh, that's right. Who wins that match, Guru?
I mean, they ruined Kushida to this point, so why stop now? Pete Dunne.
Kaliko?
That is a good point. But I feel like Kushida's been down and there's nowhere to go but up.
He hit rock
No,
bottom.
no, he'll go sideways.
Oh, he's going to go lateral? Bottom then lateral. But that's a toss-up. It's hard. Dunn's been rolling. You kind of got to go with Dunn. Yeah, get Dunn. Not related to well done.
I have to go with Kushida. If he doesn't win this match, he's honestly he's well done. I mean, stick a fork in him.
Over, under, done.
Yep. And then the main event, Io Shirai, Raquel Gonzalez. Who wins? Scooter.
You know, I've actually never been more unsure of an Io Shirai title defense than I am with this one. But I'm gonna have faith, and I'm gonna say Io Shirai.
Kaliko?
It's a toss up. The factor to me is Dakota. So I'm thinking Dakota costs her the title and it causes them two to go at it. That's the only thing I could think of because they haven't gone back to them being pissed about losing the tag titles. So I feel like that's one part, and I think if she loses this is like the straw because of Dakota. That's the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Well, there might be another determining factor here, in that they might be using this for the NXT debut of Frankie Monet.
Who is that?
Taya.
Oh, Ty Valkyrie. Frankie Monet? Seriously? That's what they named her?
Yeah, the whole dog thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was Ty Valkyrie's dog?
Yep.
Okay, well, I did not know that. I was just thinking, who is this dog? Kind of like the backyard pro thing. So the only way I see Io actually winning this match is what Kaliko said. The Dakota Kai costing Raquel Gonzalez the match. That being said, I think that Raquel's gonna win, whether or not she's actually ready to hold that championship, which I don't think she really is. But
Great, we're gonna have Diesel all over again.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, they already named her Big Mommy Cool.
Oh God.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So
That's so
That's
sexy.
a thing?
that is a thing, for real. So,
More like
Oh, God.
Big Mommy Frigid.
and I mean, the way that she ragdolled Io on Wednesday, I mean, she drew her through a freaking wall. I mean, how could they not go with her, even though they shouldn't go with her? Uh, so yeah, I'm pretty sure Raquel's gonna win this match. But that being said, Scooter, do you think Raquel's actually ready to hold the championship? You know, considering Io has been such a dominant force in the division.
No, and quite frankly, I'm not sure she's even ready to. I can't think of something that's simple to do.
Come up
Tire
with
shoes. That's it.
come right up with an analogy.
God, you, I could see Raquel maybe winning it and somehow the decision getting reversed with a 5 count DQ maybe.
I mean, it sounds kind of ridiculous, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past WWE to do something like that.
I mean, you have Tian Shan, the 1,000-year-old Dragon Empress.
That murdered people.
True, that murder people, but
Is they're building. I'm not sure if they're building Xia Li or Tian Shan to be the next contender.
well, the problem with that is, yeah, it would have to be EO to win then because the one thing with takeovers, there's never really like a doubt, right? Like I
That's
can't
true.
think of a takeover where there was like an up in the air decision. Like usually it's a known fact of it's a winner and a loser.
Decisive victories.
Yeah, it's very decisive. So I can't see them going the route of like if it was an NXT show, I could see it like they did with Cole and Balor, but yeah, takeovers are usually like it's set in stone.
Alright, that brings us to night 2. Uh, Cruiserweight Championship ladder match. Santos Escobar versus Jordan Devlin. Scooter, who wins the match?
I I'm 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 gonna say Escobar, mostly because of the fact that I think it's going to be a night for Legado del Fantasma, and also, I mean, Devlin only having recently returned to American NXT TV. Um, you know what? I don't think there's any logic in explaining it. So Escobar.
Kaliko?
Uh, I say Escobar because I think Devlin's going to be the next contender for the NXT UK title.
I think it makes sense that Escobar wins the match.
Because
Uh,
after Walter gets rid of him, there's really after Walter gets rid of Champa, not a really lot of contenders. And HBK is really high on him, so I would see him losing that to get a main title program in NXT UK.
right. Next match, Johnny Gargano versus whoever wins the gauntlet match. Which we kind of alluded to that it's going to be Dexter Loomis. So who wins, Scooter? Loomis or Gargano?
God, Johnny Takeover. I really want to say Loomis for having gone through the Eliminator. Should that be the case? But I could easily see them putting Gargano over him regardless. So, just in the hopes that I'm wrong, I'm going to say Gargano.
Kaliko?
Y'all know how I am with Gargano. He is Mr. Takeover, baby. I think he'll win because Loomis it never was about the belt from how he's been doing it, right?
I
Like
mean, how do you know?
Yeah,
It doesn't say anything.
I mean, Loomis gives off a very almost Jake the Snake-esque vibe
Yes.
in that he's honestly winning a title really wouldn't concern him. And that would actually be very fitting to the character.
so Johnny Takeover it is.
Well, whether or not it is actually Loomis, you know my stance on a Johnny Gargano takeover match. Always bet against Johnny.
What? He's been on a roll the last 3 or 4. What the hell are you talking about?
When Johnny was
Two.
marching home again, hurrah!
He's won 2. And it's the most he's won in 1 year.
But it's the NXT North American title. That boy rarely loses it when it's on the line. That going back to Ricochet at Takeover in Arizona.
And now it's the NXT Florida Championship.
Next match, Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly, unsanctioned match.
Really? You want to talk about this before the NXT Women's Tag Titles?
Oh, I don't. Oh no. I don't have that in front of me, but yeah, Shotzi Blackheart versus Ember Moon defend the NXT Women's Championships against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Scooter, who wins?
Do the Mandalorian superfans win? Is this the way?
Oh.
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Nobody cares. Ember and Shotzi.
Kaliko.
Yeah, it's got to be Ember and Shotzi because they just gave the belts and then they lost their first defense. I don't think they won a hot potato title. So Shotzi and Ember.
The women's tag team 24/7 titles.
The 24/7 11 366 title.
I-95.
I-95.
I personally would love to see a championship where the goal is to lose it, not to win it.
That's an interesting concept, and the reason would be you get a pay cut for holding that title.
You know what? Let's talk to Psycho Mike about it and give the idea to Backyard Pro.
I mean, that could be the car that Geoff Hardy drives now. He's trying to get rid of it.
It don't matter. Hard place will win the belt.
Alright, back on topic. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, unsanctioned match. Who wins, Scooter?
Oh boy. Oh man. I will. I really want to say Kyle O'Reilly. I have a feeling HBK is going to get involved.
For who?
On behalf of Cole.
Interesting.
But you know what? I want it. I'm Kyle O'Reilly.
Kaliko?
Tough one to call. I'm sitting here thinking. I'm like, the only factor that I put into play is where the fuck is Bobby Fish?
Injured?
And we know Roderick is like in no man's land, and I feel like they're gonna let him shine, but I feel like something's gonna happen to where Cole wins, because it makes sense for Cole to win because it solidifies him as his own man.
Oh no!
What was you saying, Scoodle?
Pat McAfee.
Ooh,
Oh shit!
that is a possibility.
McAfee and Cole align.
Oh, the line. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. Possibly.
It could, but I feel like McAfee's more of a mouthpiece, and I feel like Cole don't need one.
That's a good point. Well, I think. Well, first and foremost, it feels like I've seen this match about 1 billion times everywhere.
You have.
Except
You
WWE.
have. You have.
Yeah.
New Japan, ROH, all over.
It's been done before. That being said, I don't think this is, that one-off match. So I think that this is going to continue well into the next takeover.
I mean, it's unsanctioned, so.
I mean,
it's a hold. They signed a hold harmless agreement, so usually that is really the finale.
Okay, well, how'd that work out for Moxley and Omega, or Shawn Michaels and Triple H?
They didn't have a hold harmless agreement.
Oh, and that's the deciding factor.
Yes, it means that regardless, WWE isn't responsible if they're injured. It's how Rollins faced Triple H at Mania 33.
Yeah.
And then they never fought again.
What about Gargano and Ciampa? Because they just basically met in a warehouse.
But they never had the hold harmless clauses.
Honestly, I feel that means nothing. So, I don't think this is the last match that they have against each other. That being said, Cole has to do something to antagonize Riley, so O'Reilly wins. Any last thoughts about this match before we move on to our main event?
I mean, maybe O'Reilly calls in his friends from O'Reilly's Automotive Parts. O'Reilly's Automotive Parts. No, nobody.
And that brings us to our last match. Finn Balor versus Carrion Cross NXT Championship match. Who wins, Scooter?
I feel they're going to pick up where they left off. And I think Carrion Cross.
Kaliko?
Ooh, this is a toughie. Because Finn's been, like, fearless since he's came back, right? He basically... He brought stability to that belt considering that Keith Lee got moved up, Karrion Kross got injured. So he's been the guy. It's tough to see where he would go if he loses.
So,
And
Balor?
and it's hard. This is a coin flip because Cross never lost it, but they rarely give people who lost it to injury the belt back, and that's my like. Because keep in mind,
I see what you
Champa
mean.
went for the belt, lost it to injury, came back, never got it. So that is what is geeking me, the history, right?
Yeah.
Like you've never seen no one in NXT get the belt, lose it due to injury, come back, and then get the title. So I'm gonna go Balor, just based on that precedent.
You know, I didn't necessarily think about that until you literally just said it. Before you said that, I wanted to say, Cross for sure. I mean, it was essentially Finn Balor was the interim champion. But now that definitely brings up new things. Because if you think about it, where do both men go if they lose the match? I mean, Finn Balor is just Finn Balor. Fighting him as a championship on its own. But
Uh,
Carrion kind of needs something to
y-
kind
you
of
also
legitimize himself.
you also have that tease of Karrion Kross and Edge from when Edge was on NXT.
So you're saying he goes
So
straight.
if Cross loses, he goes to SmackDown.
Interesting. I feel like Carrion Cross wasn't there long enough to, do anything, even though he won the championship. If that makes sense.
Same with Keith Lee, though.
I mean, Keith Lee did a little bit more. I mean, he wrestled in a couple of NXT takeovers. He was North American and
But
NXT champion.
True, but when he got the belt, he didn't do. He lost it as soon as he defended it.
That's
uh,
it.
I mean, you can't go by that. Technically, John Morrison should have been in NXT before returning. Then, uh, Drew was in NXT before returning. To so that standard is really out the window.
All right. Well, gun to my head, I'm gonna go with Cross, and I think we'll conclude our coverage of NXT Stand and Deliver Night 1 and 2 for now, and we will be reviewing everything that happened on that show next week on this show. So look out for that. And now we are wrestling with WrestleMania 37 preview, night 1 and 2. Let's get right into it. Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman steel cage match. Scooter, who wins?
I'm trying to think, when is the last time we saw a regular cage match at WrestleMania?
I think Hogan Bundy.
God, if you're right, James. Shane wins, but they employ the same finish with Braun and Kevin Owens, where they're at the top of the cage and Braun just throws Shane down.
Okay. What about you, Kaliko?
Yeah, I see Shane getting a spot, but yeah, that's the only way that Shane would get that spot, huh? Unless Braun wins and then just beats his ass after the fact. So I'm gonna go Braun because it's a bullying thing. So face goes over at Mania, pal.
True, but I mean, Shane McMahon hasn't won at Mania since returning.
Yeah,
Uh,
because it doesn't benefit him. What the fuck is he going? Like, what the fuck is he gonna do? Springboard to a title shot?
Actually, he won at 35.
35. Who did he won
Mid.
that? Oh, he won that match?
Yep.
Okay, so only where I see. Okay, if that happens, then the only way I see that Shane winning is if they bring somebody in to aid Shane, like a Baba Kato.
Well, I'm telling you, this is going to be a thing about Braun not caring about winning. They're going to be at the top of the cage. Braun's going to have Shane. He's going to just choke slam Shane through the table down, and he's going to win, but accident.
That being said, I still think maybe you know what? All signs point to Shane McMahon. I'm going with Shane McMahon. All right. Next match, Raw Tag Team Championship match, The New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos. Scooter,
I want to say the New Day. I have but I won't. I'm gonna go with AJ and Omos.
I mean, it feels like it has to be them. I mean, you're debuting a new guy that you really want to get over. It makes sense. I mean, I feel the only reason New Day was put in this match is because they need uh faces for Styles and Omos to win. Kind of like the, you know, placeholders. But Kaliko, your thoughts?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if New Day won. I mean, the last time someone had their debut at Mania for a title and won.
I mean, Fandango beat Chris Jericho at
I
29.
said a debut for a title and
I'm
won.
there's a. I mean, we have the return.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy, the Hardys returned, but I'm talking about debut, like first match. That's a lot to ask for.
And, normally I agree with you. And if it was Kofi and Big E, I mean, they might have had a shot. But it feels like the only reason Xavier Wood is in matches is to take the L.
But I feel like New Day would win the Mania match, but lose the next night.
That that's a possibility. But I mean, then almost doesn't get that rub and that push that he kind of needs if he's going to have a legitimate run with WWE. You know what I mean?
But but uh,
Your first match you
it's
lost, even though it was
first
WrestleMania.
the first match you lost at WrestleMania against arguably the greatest tag team of all time. It is not like it ain't like he in there losing the fucking, I mean, R-Truth or fucking Tyler Breeze. It's fucking New Day.
I don't see it. Honestly, I don't see it. It has to be almost in Styles.
All right. I'll be well, everybody knows I'll be there. So I will jump in on the remix when they win and just like just to rub it in.
Alright. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Who wins, Scooter?
I mean, they put some they've been putting some oomph behind Cesaro. They're giving him a lot of character lately. And they're playing up Seth's WrestleMania achievements. So I'm gonna go with Cesaro.
Kaliko?
This is another tough one. Cesaro, because I think that he's going to be the next contender for the heavyweight championship, the universal title.
I mean,
Because
yeah, continue.
because let's say Roman wins, there's really nobody left unless Edge brings up the fact that I never got a one-on-one. But I see Cesaro. I think Cesaro might be the guy to beat Roman.
Well, first and foremost,
But that's way down the line. But Cesaro.
I decided to change my answer from Shane McMahon to Braun Strowman because I see Seth Rollins winning this match. Simply because it's Cesaro, and every time they tease, that Cesaro and they're gonna pull the trigger finally, they always pull a Sonata with him, so to speak.
Send him to slaughter.
They give him the Sonata puss, as we've been calling it. So
That's from here on out on this show, the Sonata push.
that was our last episode. The name of the show, the title was Sonata puss. So yeah, it's Seth Rollins. It has to be Seth Rollins. Next match, Bad Bunny versus The Miz. Who wins, Scooter?
I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Bad Bunny player.
We know this is the real reason you're going to WrestleMania, Kaliko. Who wins?
It's Playa. And yeah, it's gonna be Bad Bunny. And the reason being because it's this was basically Miz's as much as he got the title and it was a do and as for his hustle, everybody kind of knows he's more of the spotlight TV guy. So gives more eyeballs for him, especially probably pushing Miz and Mrs. as they're getting ready to move, and he's probably getting ready for this match in particular. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're recording right now episodes leading it up to it.
Bad Bunny wins by a Corona.
Oh God.
The beer.
Oh, okay.
In La Playa.
Right. Yeah, Bad Bunny. SmackDown Women's Championship: Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. Who wins, Scooter?
I'm gonna go with, it's gotta be Bianca to me.
Kaliko?
Bianca. Yeah, Sasha's had it what, October?
Yeah.
She had a lengthy run. So yeah, it's time for some new blood.
I mean, for her, anyway.
I mean, yeah, this is Sasha's longest run with their title, with the women's title, period. But but yeah, Bianca. They put too much stock into her with the WWE 24 and so on and so forth. So I see it coming full circle. Her debut was at Mania, and she gets her first win and title at Mania.
I kind of feel like it has to be Bianca simply because we kind of know Edge isn't going to win the WWE Championship, who was the Royal Rumble winner for the men's side. So I kind of feel like it's a give and take situation. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I see your point because it's got to eventually that's got to legitimize the Royal Rumble because remember, Asuka won the Royal Rumble, lost the match.
She
Becky
was the
won the
first
Royal
winner.
Rumble. She was the first winner, but then she lost the Mania match.
Yeah.
Becky won, and then she won the match. Charlotte won, then she won the match. Bianca won. You kind of got to get the precedent going that the winner actually achieves it, I guess.
You have to remember Becky was kind of also taken out at the last.
True.
Yeah. By the way, I've just gone through 35 years worth of WrestleManias, and yes, James, you are correct. There hasn't been a traditional cage match since Hogan Bundy.
Because Bundy.
Wow.
They're still in Monday, Bundy.
And when it happens, it will have been more than 35 years.
And that brings us to our main event of night 1. WWE Championship match. Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre. Who wins, Scooter?
Ooh, God. You know, I really feel like they gotta commit to Lashley holding on to the title. I mean, I mean, I could see Drew being sent over to SmackDown for a feud with Roman. You know what? I'm gonna say Drew.
So after all that, Drew.
Yep. I'm
Kaliko?
Drewish.
The only reason I say Lashley is because it's very rare that a guy wins the belt, runs through the year, loses it at the last minute, and gets it back at Mania. So to me, it would have to be Lashley. And I think I'm just spitballing here, but I think this Hurt Business breakup thing is a ruse.
Possibility.
Because it happened too damn fast.
I mean, Vince is gone on. He actually gave a new. I have it right in front of me. Vince apparently made the decision to split the group. MVP and Lashley were not supportive about the decision, but Vince wasn't budging. And actually, the splitting of the group is apparently a big blow to morale in the locker room.
Even with that, though, I feel like something ain't right about it, right? Like, and I get why he would break them up because when Lashley won the belt, he won it under heelish terms. But everyone was just so happy that it was an African American that it kind of got rid of the face factor, the heel factor, right? So what would be more heelish than getting all this praise for being the third black man to win the belt than to say, fuck the group, I'm gone? Like, that's nuclear.
Because Lashley needs to be the heel.
Exactly. And I told y'all this when he won it. When I said he would win it, I was like, the Hurt Business is on countdown, because it wouldn't make sense for them to have him win the belt. The world is fucking happy, and there's these like memes of The Rock and Kofi and now Lashley as the three black champs. It makes it a cool heel, and you need him to be a monster heel.
Right.
And that's why they did it. But I feel like it's kind of a ruse. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just spitballing there. But that's why I think Lashley would have to win, because you can't do all that and make him a monster heel just to lose the belt a month and a half later to Drew.
Now, I see your point, but the thing of that is, Vince McMahon very rarely deviates from the plan, unless it sounded very loudly to him that it needs to be changed. Case in point, the Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30 situation. And that could have been a possibility where they turn Lashley face at Mania if they actually had a crowd there every week, and they're having that, he's getting that babyface reaction. But because we're in the Thunderdome and the crowd noise is what they want it to be, I don't see that happening. I see that it's the same. It's the same thing that they had planned. It's Lashley is the transitional champion for Drew McIntyre to beat for a major championship at his second WrestleMania. And that's the way I see it.
Well, I think they were cheering. People were cheering for the win because it was a title change. They weren't cheering for the fact that it was Lashley. They were cheering for the fact that it was a black guy that finally got a crack at it, especially someone who was of Lashley's stature and character. So to me, the way he did it was very heelish. He beat the shit out of McIntyre, which he's the reason McIntyre lost it in the first place. So keep that in mind. That's the only reason I say he'll win, because he ain't above beating that ass like that again. So that's why I give him the
edge. Plus, there's also the possibility that King Corbin is actually now a member of the New Hurt Business.
Oh, God.
After Monday night, there's a if Lashley retains, I would take either the ruse or he's recruited somebody else. Like Ricochet has finally given in now that Cedric's out.
True.
Something unexpected. I don't know.
So, Kaliko, you're going Lashley?
Bobby Lashley. If you ain't first, you're last.
Going with Drew.
Unless, of course, Brock shows up. But he won't.
It's a possibility.
I mean, BL versus BL.
John Cena's still a possibility.
No, he's not. Not anymore.
Because he's on TBS.
Wipeout!
United States Championship match. Oh, we're on night 2 as well. United States Championship match. Riddle versus Sheamus. Who wins, Riddle?
Riddle me this, riddle me that. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Since they're apparently going with Riddle is mentally deficient angle, um, like seriously, like they're really playing Riddle up as if he has really suffered a head injury. Like his bit with Titus. Oh, you're part of the roast at WrestleMania. No, I'm the host. Yeah, you're the host of the roast of WrestleMania, man. Ugh. Um, I think we might see Riddle descend into insanity, or maybe just a version of Eugene that can form at least one coherent sentence. That being said, with everything I'm hearing, Sheamus.
Kaliko?
Riddle. And the reason being because for all of that, after Sheamus beat him, he was still kind of hot about it. So it shows he can turn it on when he wants to, right? So I feel like he'll be hyped up for this match and he'll get the win.
Yeah, same Riddle. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I mean, we've seen this match about 1,000 times. Never on the stage before though. So this
KO
is
Mania
kind of
5.
the immortalization of their rivalry, so to speak. It could be a show stealer. That being said, who wins who?
Uh, wait, I'm looking at the. Hold on, I'm looking up for the KO Mania 5 shirt, which is the KO powers implode.
Explode.
Yeah, and implode. Yeah, especially after Logan Paul's involvement, which was completely friggin' useless. And the only reason Logan Paul was even on was because he got eliminated off the Masked Singer. Spoilers. God. Sammy, he stole a victory last year, and that got him the Intercontinental title. Yeah, I think this is a straight up KO win.
Win by KO or KO wins?
I said a straight up KO win.
So KO wins by KO or KO just wins?
Thanks, Dad. Yes, KO wins by pinfall.
Alright, have to make sure about that. Kaliko, who wins?
Dick.
Y'all off the wall. Have anyone noticed like KO's manias have kind of went in line with his shirts in a sense, like as far as like his opponents.
I mean, that would mean he's fighting himself.
Hell, KO Mania 2 was what? Him and Jericho? And that was like KO Mania 3. Was it KO Mania 3? Let's say KO Mania 3 was him and Jericho, if I'm not mistaken.
KO Mania 1 was the ladder match.
Yeah.
The ladder match at 32. So 33 was KO Mania 2, yeah. Jericho. And then 34 KO Mania 3. But I still think KO winning. It don't even matter. Because Sammy's at this point where it's like he's
a shave.
Nah, yeah, he did. Nah, that beard is on point. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, God, if you got that beard twisted.
Yeah, that beard is twisted. But anyways, KO. It seems like KO, so just stick with what I know.
Stick with what you know, KO.
Hell yeah.
You're a poet. You didn't know it.
Take that, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, KO. Intercontinental
Wait, KO
Championship.
by KO?
Big E versus Apollo Crews. Does Apollo Crews finally win the Intercontinental Championship, Scooter?
No, but he does get $500 in Google Play cards from Big E's mother.
Kaliko?
Biggie. I mean, like I said, New Day about to take over, fam. That's why I'm like, all of them.
Unless they unleash Small E.
It'd be Lil E.
Bringing back Hornswoggle? Little E?
Lil E. Lile.
Alright, yeah, Big E. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Who wins, Scooter?
There's no more Bray Wyatt. No, there's no Bray Wyatt anymore. He's just a Fiend. That being said, yeah, one of the things that on that list of banned words, I mentioned, one of them is die.
I believe Mordor was one of them as well.
Kill, murder, dead, die, and Alexa Bliss said the Viper will die. Now, maybe it's metaphorical. I don't know. Maybe we get another like Willy Wonka-esque type thing, like we did at 33,
God, I hope not.
which was so funny because I actually predicted what bugs were coming next,
Oh my god.
and I was right every time.
You know, you were a bug connoisseur.
I live in New York.
I got there's more rodents in New York than bugs.
That's the subways. Above ground, it's bugs. This is the Fiend, and we're probably gonna witness some sort of weird, twisted ritual that maybe puts the Fiend back into a not so Freddy Krueger like state.
They put Randy Orton on a symbol. It's a symbol. It's that symbol.
Yeah. Oh, that yes, that the symbol. There's
The
also
little mask symbol.
there's also the rumor I'm hearing that we could possibly be seeing the first ever separation of the Fiend and Bray Wyatt.
What about you, Kaliko? What do you think's gonna happen?
Payback's a bitch, and it's about to be on Randall. Sorry. I mean, because think about it, last year, because this is basically Bray's Bray's field house in the sense of righting wrongs that has happened over his career. Last year it was Cena. This year it's Randall, which are his two biggest losses to date.
True.
I
Yeah, Scooter.
I wouldn't put it past them if someone had the bright idea to bring in Ryan Cabrera,
Who?
Alexa's fiance.
Oh God, why? Oh, to try and convince her not to be evil or possessed?
Something like that. And maybe Randy beats the crap out of him to get her to
Well, I mean, if he's coming in, he's going to be on Randy's side. He doesn't want the Fiend, doing whatever
Yeah,
he's doing to his girlfriend, his fiancée.
exactly.
But the way I see it is, you don't burn somebody alive and then they take an L the next time you wrestle. So, yeah, it has to be the Fiend.
I mean, did Freddy Krueger take a loss the next time he wrestled after he got burned alive?
Are we still waiting for the outcome of that match?
I mean, okay, so I guess he did lose to Jason, but he was technically Rey Mysterio then. But
uh, the thing that just pisses me off is that these are Inferno matches, barbell death matches, exploding barbell death matches. Those used to be blow off matches, and now they're just progression matches.
now they just now they just blow.
Exactly. So yeah, Fiend for the win. Because you have after you burn somebody alive, you have a good old fashioned wrestling match the next time.
I
Oh,
mean,
I'm gonna put him in a wrist lock, and then I'm gonna put him in. That's gonna turn into a headlock. Oh, then some chain wrestling.
yeah, but what's that famous saying? How do you kill a snake?
You think they're gonna decapitate Randy Orton?
Yes.
Oh my god! Oh yeah. Okay.
That ain't happening on Peacock, bro.
Fiend wins. Fatality.
Raw Women's Championship match: Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Who wins, Scooter?
Well, considering this is now Ripley's second WrestleMania, or she's now the challenger. I really wish this had a little bit more build, because it really could have been a hell of a story.
I mean, not to put WWE on the spot. I mean, they didn't. This wasn't the original plan. I mean, they had
Yeah.
to kind of deviate. So
But this is the match that I don't see being one and done. I think Asuka wins here, and Ripley takes it in the rematch, maybe even the next night or at the at Money in the Bank.
honestly, I disagree. I think this is a one-off, and we she gets the she takes the L to Asuka, and we go. She goes and try and build up her career a little bit more. And Asuka goes into a rivalry with somebody kind of worth her time.
Wait a minute. You're saying Rhea didn't build up her career at all after losing to Charlotte?
No, she went down after that.
Hmm.
Yeah, even she said she lost confidence. So I felt like if this was Charlotte, I would have believed Rhea because Rhea would be up the game.
Right, but the gives and the takes. But let's talk about the match that's in front of us. Who wins, Kaliko?
Oscar, what the fuck you talking about? Like that's why I said it. I said what I said. If it was Charlotte, I felt like Rhea would have got the redemption. But there's no story arc for it.
Well, I felt that the redemption story was supposed to be on Asuka's part because Charlotte was the person that gave her first ever loss at WrestleMania, and then
That's my
they were gonna wrestle again, and she was gonna win.
that's
Um,
my point. So I felt like Asuka having that redemption. I felt like if it was anybody else, because I feel like Charlotte Charlotte is in both of these because both of those women needed to face Charlotte for the redemption. That's why I thought if it was a Charlotte versus Rhea, Charlotte versus Asuka, Asuka. But it's Asuka versus Rhea, which to me makes no sense. So it's Asuka.
Right. Alright. And that brings us to our main event of night 2. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan, Universal Championship match. Who wins, Scooter?
I'm Roman.
Kalika?
Roman. It's his best work. And I can't think, when was the, Roman has never walked into a Mania as champion.
Did he walk in champion
No.
30?
No.
Okay, let's know.
31, he was the challenger. 32, he was the challenger. 33, it was Taker. 34, he was the challenger. 35, he had Drew.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Roman, right?
I disagree. I think that this is Daniel Bryan's to win. This is going to be the last thing people see at WrestleMania on both nights. This is the last thing. And Roman is a heel. And what is WWE? What kind of territory are they? They're a babyface territory. And Daniel Bryan, arguably the biggest babyface they have. I mean, you could give it to Edge, but I don't think that that's the route they're going. So it makes sense that, you have your biggest babyface pinning Edge. You still, protect Roman. And then, you could give it to him like the next night if you want to. But you have that feel good moment for that very moment. And I think that's what really matters about WrestleMania, right?
Man, fuck all that bullshit. Roman.
It's gotta be Roman's redemption here.
I mean,
Yeah, especially because last year he was supposed to have been beating Goldberg, but the pandemic hit and leukemia. So they all got their own redemption story, but only one is the present.
I mean, if we had Drew, if there was something to take its place as the main event, as the last thing to go on, I would probably tell you yeah. But this, or even if it was night 1, honestly, but it's the main event of night 2. So all in my eyes, all roads lead to Daniel Bryan actually pulling off the victory. And Roman, he's still there. I mean, he's not going anywhere. Um, well, redemption will maybe come next year. But like like Kaliko always says, it's all about timing. And this was maybe
Okay.
not the best timing for Roman.
And again, what if Brock shows up?
Oh my god. And with that, we will conclude our coverage of WrestleMania Night 1 and 2. And not next week, but in 2 weeks we will be reviewing all things WrestleMania, and I'm sure a lot will be said.
We'll be live from our funerals.
Yep, I'll be retired and rehired by then. So
I hope I don't spontaneously combust.
It's a hell of a thing. I know, well, we won't get into that. uh, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe, comment, put on YouTube and Castbox.
Ah! Ah! Okay, put the fire out. Okay.
Kablooey!
I was on fire there for a minute. Okay. Whew.
Wait, is that Randy Orton behind you? He's got a match?
No, that's just me. I dropped my cigar.
If you like what we're doing, please subscribe, comment, put on YouTube and Castbox. Join us for Wrestling with Mania Week. We are already in it. Watch our trivia night tomorrow. Becca Kathleen watch along Stardom show. Holden Albright watch along of his match with Clay Wilson from December, Barry Wrestling. Love Dog interview on Wednesday. Wrestling with Mania Madness watch along finals watch along uh Thursday. Uh,
Watch
D-
along the back. Watch along.
DVN watch along of a match with Tay Conti from AEW Dark. Watch along
Director's cut.
the Snyder Cut. It's 4 hours long.
The
Uh,
ire.
Previewing a review of NXT Stand and Deliver on Saturday, and how should people listen to NXT Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania on Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Scooter.
Of course, you should listen to it on the remix, only on UNB Sports 2.
And you can always find us on Twitter as well at Wrestling with E. You can find us individually at JamesJ993. Where can they find Kaliko?
I'm Kaliko, and yes, I will be down there for Mania weekend. So if you see me, I might buy you a beer. Or you could just buy me a beer. We could just take each other turns buying rounds. Either way, we all get fucked up.
If you have like a red striped sweater, we could wear as Kaliko, and people take pictures and tag Wrestling with
Actually,
E.
I do have a red jersey. I have a red Mania Club jersey I'm wearing.
Are we going to offer a bounty for the person who sends in a picture of Kaliko?
That would be dope.
That'd be cool. I'd be up for that.
Whoever finds me gets an autographed Allison K Kiss card.
Oh.
I was going to say hand sanitizer, but okay.
I have it on me.
And where can they find Scooter?
As always, you can find me. What's that?
Oh my god, we lost Scooter. Oh my god, they killed Scooter! Those bastards!
Scooter Dust, and holding it down for the UNB Network, and UNBS Wrestling.
For Kaliko Yachts, the remains of Scooter Dust, I'm James Shane, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.